Did you know one of the most powerful spellcasters, mages, and in general characters is actually a dumb, greenskin fella with a stick and oversized flying bird? Due to the fact he has literally the Nagash crown on his head, he can actually cast spells, create hordes of undead greenskin armies, plan his moves ahead, and speak fluently. But speaking fluently comes at a cost. Crown of Nagash actually wants to go back to Nagashizar, which is actually a problem because we start here, in the northward edge mountains province, so there is a fair distance between Nagashizar and the position we are in. And also please remember about like and subscribe, it really helps grow the channel, especially when I have only 76 subs, thanks. First move is going for the growth from the tech tree. Second, we are checking this guy trait, Unbreakable. Well, I guess that's alright. As you can see, we have unique mechanic, the Crown's Whispering. It basically opens up a panel where we can get some various bonuses. For now we don't need it, because Whispers of Nagash themselves are way more important. They give undead Wa, you will see what they can do. And there it is, the second mechanic, the same mechanic which Malus Darkblade has. You can either get bonuses to the campaign and the Orc Boys, or allow for the full possession. And those bonuses are too good to ignore, we are going for that. And we are recruiting skeleton boys, of course. That's how they look like, those are the trolls. Trolls with the great weapons. That is giant, bone giant. And those are just regular skeleton boys. And last but not least, skeleton archer goblins, as well as regular goblins. With those enemies our army shouldn't have any problems. Like they have only gobbles and 1 unit of ogres. Yeah, we have lost only 4 gentlemen. That's unusual low losses for the greenskins. We are taking also Karak Ungor, a really important settlement for us. It has gold of course, as well as Red A Mountain, both super useful buildings for us. We have already full possession of Azhag, that's great. That 40% of ward save matters the most. The funny part is we can upgrade those skeleton units, but of course we can't see the picture of them, because they are modded units. We want that technology go faster. We will be moving a lot in this campaign. We took control over the entire province, but there is a problem. That problem is named Karakajin, but we have to go through them to get to Nagashizar. Can we attack those guys? Well, we can't, of course they had to run away. But anyway, we are closer to the Karakajin, which we of course want to take, but looks like we did catch a different army, and I don't believe it is Valiant Defeat. Can I cast a spell on them? Let's see. Well, I can, but they are shooting at our Azhag. This is where the undead war comes in place. We can summon skeleton boys, but if we really want to win that battle we have to focus on the Ungrim. Dude isn't even leveled up, so we can actually destroy him even with the Azhag himself. He has already a third of his HP. The fact that big chunk of their army is the Pariat Slayers isn't helping, because they got regeneration. At least we got Ungrim, so it should be a bit easier. But even without the Ungrim they are still doing massive damage. Like we are losing our skeleton boys. Eventually we won, but we lost almost all of our undead units. But at least we got useful trait for defeating Ungrim. And those undead units we can easily replenish, they are super cheap. We should also call Wa for the additional units. Of course we are aiming to take the Karakajin. And we can also build Red Eye Mountain, so it will boost our economy. We have already gold mine here. The worst part about this full possession is minus 20 control. Keeping those lands together will be a nightmare. For example, here we have only 2 control after collecting income, with 2 buildings for the control. And with that huge army we got, we can take the Karakajin by auto-resolve. It is kinda shame we don't have any unique buildings here. And we've got the maximum Whispers of Nagash. For the 50 we have to gain the crown of the Nagash, because technically we don't have it yet, even though we have. It's a bit complicated. Let's destroy Ungrim Iron Fist. Well, of course he had to run away. And of course he had to attack our new army with 2 units. The army is next to the settlement, so we have garrison to help. The problem is we have to wait for the garrison, so our army is in a pretty bad spot. I think we are going to lose it. They don't even have full army yet and they are already doing massive damage to us. But since the main army got attacked in the march stance, we cannot even retreat, so we have to fight. But I won't lie to you, the battle isn't going as planned, it looks awful to us. 2 of 3 our lords are actually retreating right now. And here we have it. Our front line has collapsed. Ungrim is going for our archers. That's lost. Really unfortunate. For some reason he didn't finish the settlement garrison itself, so we can finish him off instead, unless he will run away again. Which he of course had to do. He had to run away. So much for Unbreakable Slayer, and he ransomed us again. But in the end we managed to catch him, and I hope after this battle he will be way less annoying. We will show him his place. Looks like Ungrim got defeated, again, and since that is underway interception, he will lose all of his remaining army. Even the losses were low, and that is big problem of our campaign. We've got rebels, due to low control. They are threatening Karakajin, but we have to push to the south. Well, Ostermark declared on us. I don't know why, but they did. Fortunately for us we can destroy those rebels, and we can catch Dwarf army. The last one they have. Well, we've got a problem. Ostermark is sieging down the Karakajin, and those dudes we cannot auto-resolve, unfortunately. But the map is on our side, we've got only one gate, the walls are small, we can try at least to defend here. We've got 2 towers, some archers and those skeleton orcs which we managed to summon, but only once. It looks like our archers won't last long on these walls, but maybe we can hold the entrance at least. Well, we can't. They breached the walls somehow, and now they are going for the main point, which is on the other side of the bridge. Yeah, we lost that unfortunately. That's interesting, the beastmen are sieging the last settlement the Karakajin has. Of course we are going to help them, and now we can attack them and take that settlement for ourselves. I didn't know the Azhag has frenzy in his skill tree for all the orc boys. It works even for our skeleton boys. Look at that plundering Zufbar is giving us over 4000. But now it is time to take it for ourselves, since they lost the army due to fighting with the vampires. We only have to build the siege towers. That is the skill I really wanted to reach. Regeneration for our lord and plus 10 winds of magic. Ostermark is attacking Fallen King Mountain. I want to try to defend it at least, we have some armies there. Of course we will try the one true tactic, which is called corner camping. We have a lot of archers, so this time we have a chance. They aren't actually far away, so maybe we can rush them. Well, they are moving too fast for us, so we can't actually catch them. And we are taking massive casualties. Yeah, we can't win this either. Those grenade launchers are actually too strong for us. That's really sad. Now I think they are a bit overconfident in themselves. First we're going to use some magic on them, as well as the skeleton boys from the underground. And sometimes even catching their lonely units like this. Half of the army actually went for our units in the woods, which means they cannot hit our army properly, and we can actually go for them. Now the fun part begins in that battle, meaning chasing them across the whole map. I spent about 5 minutes chasing them away, but we won. And that's the great thing about Azhag, we can easily replenish our troops. That also should be helpful. It's time to sell Zufbar, we cannot keep it for long. Let's see how much they will give us. Over 10,000, nice. That's funny, they want to fight us again. We'll do the same tactic as before, meaning weakening the army as much as possible with the Azhag, magic and summon units. The biggest problem is they are going constantly back and forth, so chasing away doesn't really end in that battle. Of course by our Lord Azhag, our army is too slow to chase away them. But we won and they have lost pretty much all of that army they had. I swear, why are they recruiting only those grenade launchers, man? We destroyed one army like that only to next one to appear. But the map is on our side. We've got only one gate and pretty much no walls, only choke points. So actually army they have should struggle a lot in this map. And we have some archers to pretty much make their lives even harder. Look at that, they concentrated only on that choke point. So now we can just block them, summoning the units. They are struggling a lot. Just like I said they would. The map is really saving us. They cannot shoot properly because they are blocking each other in the choke points, and since that cavalry isn't designed to fight in the close combat, it will be a disaster for them. I don't know why, but they are trying to break deeper into our settlement, which will be even worse for them, but okay. And now they are starting to retreat en masse. The map really saved us. They have lost actually a lot of units, I'm surprised. Of course it is good for us, not so much for them. And right after we won 2 battles with the Ostermark back to back, we were ready to reclaim our lost territories. They confederated with the Wissenland and Nuln, and I don't want to fight with the Elspeth, so I guess we lost the land for good. I want to sell the Fallen King Mountain to the Skarsnik for money and relations, and I think it is time to go for the quest battle for the Crown of Sorcery, so the Nagash Crown. Let's use some magic to weaken them a bit. Those are mostly zombies and skeletons, but you know, it is always good to use some magic. The battle actually is quite challenging, mostly because of the quantity of their troops, which after those spells should be a bit less. I'm not so sure about this battle anymore, I thought we will win this easily, but now it looks different. And we have lost some troops, so we rely heavy on the magic and those summoned units. And on our lord also. Looks like we won that battle at a cost of half of our army. By the way, that's how the panel looks like from the Crowns of Whispering. You have to fight with the faction you pick. So for example, if I pick Slaanesh, I have to fight with the Slaanesh to get those bonuses. And those bonuses aren't really worth it. That's why I didn't use it, and that's why I will reload the save to get those 25 points of Nagash or whatever back. Selling the Grom pick also to the Skarsnik for the relations and cash. And now we can clearly see that Skarsnik made a big empire. He clearly has a vision. And now we can finally go to the Nagashizar all the way through the Skarsnik Empire and retake Nagashizar because we deserve it. For some reason we cannot call war on the Nagashizar, on those Skavens, because apparently they are not here. We can see their armies and their faction, but we cannot call one. But we need that second Wa army, so let's call on somebody else. Finally, we are over 130 friendly relations, so we can confederate Skarsnik. So now we control a bit more lands. The problem is we have minus 26 control, or minus 24, depends on the province, minus 18, minus 25, but maybe we'll be fine, maybe. And here we are finally next to the Nagashizar army, can declare on them, and they have a bit stronger army than I expected, so we have to fall back and rethink how we can actually defeat them. Well, that was faster than I expected. We can actually auto-resolve all of their armies with the Prick victory. We'll lose a lot of our units, but they will lose whole army they have. And here we have it, decisive victory from auto-resolve. Nagashizar is ours. We have won the campaign, so we can actually see our progress. In this campaign we weren't conquering that much, and still ended up with a huge chunk of the world. We gain unique effect for the 10 turns, unique event, and I'm going for the world save. And we can build great halls of Nagashizar. And also at 50 Whispers of Nagash we can summon a lot of undead walls. And that's also pretty funny. Azhag has world save 83%, the maximum value is 75. That's it for today, thank you for watching. Remember to leave a like and subscribe, drop a comment or two, it really means a lot and helps grow the channel. And see you soon!